In this section we will learn how to export a TILOS project into Primavera using the new XML interface. We have already loaded a project into TILOS which we are now going to export. The project is loaded in the time distance view in the central working window of TILOS. To export the data, use always the file export wizard that guides you stepwise through the different steps of exporting. Exchanging data with other applications, we always use the XML option, and we get supported macros for importing later the data to MS Project, Primavera or Asta Power Project. So we select the XML option and we press Next in the wizard. The next step is to define a data file to which the data are exported. So we activate the option File and press Select to select a file. Here we enter a file name which the result, the data file, should get. Export from TILOS. Then we press Next in order to specify the next step. Each data exchange is done on behalf of a profile that describes which objects are exported and which fields of each object are written to the XML format. So we press Select, and here we got a selection of different export profiles prepared for the different applications. We got 4 options for Primavera, and we select the option TILOS Task and Link Profile. So we press Next, and then we see an overview which elements should be exported. We press the button Next, and if the TILOS project contains different subprojects, we can select which subproject is going to be exported. Data can also be filtered if you select an already defined filter inside TILOS. So we've got now all settings done, and we press Finish in order to export the data, and the export is started, a summary is generated, and pressing Close, the work inside TILOS is done completely. After we have now exported successfully the data from TILOS into an XML file, we are now importing them into Primavera. We select from the Windows menu the TILOS Exchange module with Primavera. So we select TILOS 7 and click on Exchange, and we select the TILOS Primavera Exchange module. This starts with the same dialog as Primavera normally starts. You enter your user name and your password, and you press OK, and TILOS connects with your Primavera database. Then you got several options for importing or exporting data or creating UDFs. This option is needed if you import the data first time and you use inside your profile user-defined fields that are not created already in the Primavera database. So we click on Import now, and we get this import dialog shown on screen. Here you got the same mechanism. You select a profile and a data file which are used to exchange the data. Pressing on this button with 3 dots, you can select this file from the file manager, and you have to use the same profile that was used to export the data from TILOS. Then we select the data file, the one that we have just created, and then we press Next in the wizard. The import program identifies that a project with the UID 01235 is inside the data file. If there is a project inside the Primavera days with the same name, it would already select this here in the combo of available projects. We press plus in order to create a new project. We close this dialog with OK, and then there is a message that the project is created, and this is now our selected project. We click on Next button, and the data are getting imported step by step into Primavera. Imported are calendars, tasks, their resources if exported, and the relationships, the links between the activities. So the full project information is exchanged and no further editing of the data is needed. Once this process has finished, and you can close this dialog, you can change to Primavera. Opening Primavera itself, we find the new created project in the project list inserted. Select the project and open the activity list, and you will find your schedule created inside Primavera, containing all the activities and the relationships between the activities. The activity ID was created from the activity ID inside TILOS, but instead of using the activity ID, also a global unique ID can be used to identify and update activities inside both applications. All the start and end dates are taken directly from TILOS, including the different calendars which they might have assigned. TILOS link recognizes the different activity types. Milestones are converted into start or finish milestones inside Primavera. Activities are converted into activities inside Primavera. Hammock activities are converted in level of effort tasks. TILOS link creates automatically a code library inside Primavera. In our case, we have used the standard or the enterprise code library work type, which contains already a list of different work types, so TILOS can map its activities to these work types. Those work types that not exist are automatically new created in the library and can later be used. The TILOS start and end information is put to a user-defined field and can also be edited. Having a look at the calendars, we find that a new calendar with the name 5DV has been created during the import. Clicking on the Modify button, we see that all the working weeks are set according to the settings in TILOS. For example, in May there was a sequence of 2 weeks of holidays, so this is also updated inside the Primavera calendar. In the next step, we are creating a new activity inside Primavera, so we press the Insert button in order to create a new activity and call this soil removal number 2. We enter an activity code. This activity should also have the soil removal assigned. And we enter a start and end location for this activity value. Then we change the duration of this activity and we link this into the sequence of the other tasks. Once we've done that, we press the Save button in order to commit the changes. We are starting now the TILOS Primavera link again and use now the export functions to bring the data from Primavera into TILOS. And we use the same set of profile and data file for exporting the data. The latest used task can always be remembered by pressing the Save Settings button. So we click on Next, and we can select the project which we are going to export, and we can also set a filter to reduce the data that should be exported. Now we press the Next button and the data get exported. In the last step, we are importing this data back to TILOS, and we use again the wizard, File Import, select the XML option. TILOS remembers from last export the name of the data file as well as the profile, so we just press Next and we import the data to our main subproject. We press Finish and the data get imported into our project. And we see that we have got a new activity created and also the link to this was imported.